There are people that I know who've been working for the government for like 30 years, and they don't do much. I hate to say it. I know a few of them.
Meet Nathaniel Johnson, a policy advisor for the United States Department of the Treasury.
Basically, no one's quitting. Everyone's essentially dug in their feet and said, like, you're going to have to fire me.
The policy advisor for the Treasury declares that what Elon is doing is, quote, government-sanctioned harassment.
Every single federal employee got the email last Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, that basically said, we're offering you the option to retire. No one has ever done that before. Two, no one thinks it's legal. It's not going to do anything, and it's going to fire the wrong people. It's like government-sanctioned harassment.
Nate Johnson says that DOGE should not have access to the Treasury Department. He says due to, quote, risks to national security.
It's weird because it's like no one knows what they want to do with the system. This is like what I deal with is like vulnerabilities, risk and stuff like that. It's that person who has access, who probably shouldn't have access, could take that information and give it to someone that they should be giving it to. Or they could give it to a foreign country. You can be American and you can still give that information away.
I also spoke directly to Nate Johnson. You say Elon is doing this because he, quote, really cares about money more than they do the country. Do you think Elon Musk cares more about money than the country?
I don't believe I ever said that.
I think that there is a class of people in this country who care more about money than they do about the country. He's shown that what he really cares about is money. So in theory, all he wants is more money.
Why not speak now publicly? Why not talk to a reporter about the things that you told a stranger?
I again am going to ask that you do not publish my name. I'm not giving permission.
Listen, I'm an investigative reporter. I don't get permission from people. That's not what I do.
I'm again going to have to ask that you please don't name me.
You're asking me to bury a story.
I'm declining to speak to you any further.
I am going to do this story, with or without your permission. Meet Nathaniel Johnson, a policy advisor for the United States Department of the Treasury. Nathaniel specializes in foreign policy at the Treasury on the monitoring and enforcement team. Johnson reviews foreign policy investments into the United States for national security purposes and spoke more in depth about his role to our undercover journalist.
I work for the Treasury. I work on a committee that reviews investment into the United States from foreign countries for like national security risks. So the one that you probably heard of is like the TikTok stuff. So my agency initially was going through like reviewing TikTok to see if it was a national security risk, and it was such a complicated case that it ended up Congress decided that they could act faster. So but that was like a very agile situation. We do like tons of stuff. So I work on the monitoring and enforcement team. So my job is like, once if we've identified like a problem or something like that, and it's not too big of a problem, we make them sign an agreement to do certain things that solve the issue, and then my team basically just like watches to make sure that they're actually doing what they're supposed to do. So it's a cool job because it's like I mostly work here, but I get to travel a lot. Site visits like usually like once a month.
Recently, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has gained access to the Treasury Department to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. Nate Johnson, the official from the U.S. Treasury, admits that they are a, quote, easy target there at Treasury, and he knows people in the Treasury, quote, that don't do much.
We should be getting rid of people who don't do their jobs, and I hate to say it, I know a few of them. There are people that I know who've been working for the government for like 30 years, and they don't do much. It's not going to do anything, and it's going to fire the wrong people. I think they target us because it's an easy target.
After experiencing 4 years of a volatile economy, America is facing record inflation and a massive threat to the U.S. dollar. Experts are warning the stock market could crash, and we could be facing a recession. In these uncertain times, I recommend gold to my audience, and I trust Fisher Capital as my official gold partner. Not only have my friends at Fisher delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in gold to their clients, they have also proven to be vigilant and right on the front line, supporting causes that make our country stronger and better. Fisher Capital is the largest corporate partner for Turning Point USA, close friends of OMG. We appear at their events every December and continues to make sure the new administration is successful. Based on my experience and client testimonials, the team at Fisher Capital consists of some of the most caring and compassionate individuals in finance today. And when you click the link, you will qualify for an exclusive offer only available to my listeners, where you can get up to $20,000 of free silver with your qualifying purchase. When you speak with Fisher, make sure to mention that James O'Keefe sent you. Our portfolios are too important to trust to stocks and bonds alone. Protect yourself with gold today and get it from Fisher Capital. Go to FisherOMG.com. That's FisherOMG.com, FisherOMG.com. Nate Johnson reveals the people inside the Treasury Department are resisting the efforts of DOGE, and now they are refusing to quit digging in their heels. He also says that most of his colleagues believe the offers to his colleagues giving them the option to retire. Well, Nate Johnson says that, quote, nobody thinks that's legal inside the Treasury.
So every single federal employee got the email last Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, that basically said, we're offering you the option to retire, like you're gone, essentially. Like you're going to leave the company, that you may or may not ever come back. Oh. Yeah. Which is interesting for two reasons. One, no one has ever done that before. And two, no one thinks it's legal. I would be very unsurprised to find out that there are lawsuits pending. So it's like a whole bunch of like things that they were supposed to do that they didn't do. The emails are crazy. Someone looked at the emails and looked at the PDFs that came with it and found out that the person who wrote it was a 19-year-old. Basically, no one's quitting because everyone's dug in their feet. And this is where like everyone's a little bit nervous, is that everyone's essentially dug in their feet and said like, you're gonna have to fire me. Oh. Like you're gonna have to come up with a reason to fire me.
The policy advisor for the Treasury declares that what Elon is doing is, quote, government-sanctioned harassment, unquote, and says the only reason Elon Musk created DOGE is because Elon wants more money.
It's not going to do anything, and it's going to fire the wrong people because they're working on equity. It's literally like government sanctioned harassment. Everyone's collateral damage. Like everyone's getting hit somehow, and it's not great for anyone. So like everyone in my office who's when we started working last year is worried that they're going to get fired on site. What we have been saying is like, you're going to be fired. Like, our work is important. Congress thinks our work is important. The White House thinks our work is important. The Americans think our work is important. I think that there is a class of people in this country who care more about money than they do about the country. Because he's shown that what he really cares about is money. So in theory, all he wants is more money. You can still care more about yourself than about the country.
In recent months, many of our fellow Americans experienced unprecedented natural disasters and damaged infrastructure, making access to healthcare essentials impossible at the very moment it was needed. When disaster strikes, being prepared is your best defense. And now I'm excited to share with you the brand new Field Emergency Kit from our friends at the Wellness Company. The ultimate survival kit for any situation where medical help is not an option. Inside this rugged, waterproof case, you'll find essential medications that cover over 60 conditions that you can encounter, along with a detailed 85-page doctor-written guidebook. This ultimate kit includes amoxicillin, an essential for treating bacterial infections, and antivirals and antiparasitics like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, medications that are critical in situations where you're exposed to respiratory viruses or parasites. And for those facing potentially life-threatening allergic reactions, the field kit includes epinephrine, the generic EpiPen, along with vital first aid supplies such as tourniquet and wound and burn treatments. Natural disasters are happening at record rates, so I urge everyone to get the ultimate field emergency kit from our friends and supporters at the Wellness Company by going to twc.health/OMG. twc.health/OMG. That's twc.health/OMG. And now you can save 15% just by using code OMG at checkout. Nate Johnson says that the U.S. Treasury colleagues were worried about last Friday, February the 7th, due to fear of being fired by DOGE. Johnson also expresses that DOGE should not have access to the Treasury Department, he says, due to, quote, risks to national security.
And it's weird because it's like no one knows what they want to do with the system. Why does anyone need the tax data of like some random person that they serve? This is like what I deal with is like vulnerabilities, risk, and stuff like that. It's like when you give people access to things like that, it creates a risk that like that person who has access, who probably shouldn't have access, could take that information and give it to someone that they shouldn't give it to, or they could give it to a foreign country. You can be American and you can still give that information away.
Now, we are talking to many people inside the federal government to get them to go public on the record despite their fears of retaliation, hoping that the heads of these agencies will have their back. More on that soon. And if you're inside the government, you know who to call. Contact us securely on our Signal number or send us a DM to any of our accounts. Reporting from West Palm Beach, Florida, at the new headquarters of O'Keefe Media Group and Citizen Journalism Foundation, this is James O'Keefe.